testing. Testing, 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 testing. Testing 1, 2, testing 1, 2. Testing, testing. Testing 1, 2. Testing. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Testing, testing. Testing 1, 2. Testing, 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 testing. Testing 1, 2. Testing, testing. Testing 1, 2. Testing, testing. Testing 1, 2. Good afternoon, Lumberjack hockey fans. We are live at you here. Doing our best to fans. We are live at you here. Doing our best to figure out the Wi-Fi situation. So far, sketchy is the name of the day, but we're doing all right, I think. Goalie cam 1. Goalie cam 2 is down at the moment. Hopefully the signal's coming through live and strong for everybody. Why is that one coming through glitchy? Doing our best to get some signal through to you here. All right, a little bit. All right, a little bit better.
I don't know if we're going to see that. Yeah, man. Yeah. I don't know if we'll be around for varsity.
Yeah, you are great.
Yeah.
I don't know if Scott made it too. But I'll take whatever right there.
Yeah.
So headset works, mic works, ears work.
Okay.
Keep that on the puck. Talk whatever you like, brother. Okay. It's a table good going. It is. It's fine. You can live here wherever. hockey fans, 2:10 left on the warm-up clock here. Guest color guy is a remake from last year's 12UA run. TJ, welcome back to the booth.
Thank you much. Just getting the band back together here, Doug.
Yeah, feels pretty good. I wish we had better Wi-Fi.
Is the Wi-Fi
I thought I had it set up great, but now it's gone glitchy out. I don't know if that means there's too many more families in there jumping on, but I've actually got it going off my hotspot, which said I had like 80 meg.
Yeah.
Which was great, but now it's down to Bupkis, so yeah. We'll keep rolling with it. So we're going to do our best to, usually what happens is, unfortunately for the JP, by about the time the varsity game starts, I've got it pretty nailed down and we come up with plan C, right? And figure out how to make it work. But
you got a whole weekend to figure it out here, too.
Yeah, we do see how the goalie cams are a little sketchy. See how she froze? Right? Now I've got, that's me anyway. There's our bench cam. Again, little sketchy. It shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But as long as the two main cameras are going, no, that one's not sketchy on us. We can track all of them here. Well, for everybody watching, if for some reason we lose you, you always know you can go back on the stream. We'll start a new one, for you. But for now, we're going to get the JV game underway. We got 45 seconds left on the warm-up clock. I don't think you guys drove down separately, didn't you?
We did drive. Well, yeah, we left this morning though, but after the bus.
Yeah. So I don't think there was any media on the bus. I'm guessing nobody set up here.
That's right. Yeah. So we're not covering it on the radio this weekend or this week here.
Sure.
So over the holidays, for KBUN, I mean, it just gets to be a bit much. You get the boys holiday tournament, the girls holiday tournament, and there's basketball games that are going on as well, and then
that's a lot of goings on.
But then holiday schedules, just in regards to you need somebody back in the studio, and then
expense.
Also this one, since I'm down here anyway, it would have been an option for it, but we didn't originally plan it that way, and then we weren't able to get a studio host
for it.
But Joel's off in Pennsylvania, so that's where he's from.
Family?
Yep. So that's where he grew up. So he came to us from Pennsylvania.
Got it.
So he usually makes the trek home for the holidays.
Well, I'm hoping your camera will hold out the best. We'll see what we can piece together here. If not, we'll sound like the radio guys. All right, the girls are picking up the pucks. And if you want to, you are number 2 here.
Oh, I do have a cough button at all?
Yep. I don't know about the cough button, but if you want to be louder in your headset, it's that one.
I gotcha. My audio.
Yep. And then that's you for your output, but that's your headset.
Got it.
And that's me in there. There's our what we're putting out. So testing. We go up a little bit there.
Yeah.
Although I do get people texting, if you'll see it come up on your camera. When somebody starts texting me, hey, we can't hear you. Hey,
got it.
Wi-Fi sucks. We get that. Mm-hmm. So the Jacks are in their home whites. Looks like it's going to be Byron to start. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 players and 2 goalies, so 12 skaters. Looks like Carlson, Fuller, and Larson to start. Kylie Knutson must not be there. And then Frank and Winkler on defense. You got these all memorized, I'm sure, don't you?
Not
totally, for sure.
Yeah, but I use a spotting board as well. But I do pretty well with it.
So Bemidji wins the draw, throws it into the offensive zone. Try and get you caught up here with the camera. There we go. And Hastings, they're Yellow Jackets. That one's going to come back to Frank. That gets by Frank. She does the old spinorama, throws it up to Fuller, who just lost the handle. Now back to Frank to pick it up. Frank's going to go for a skate through the neutral zone here. She'll be the first one to go get it. Now Lomberg's hot off the bench. That one goes all the way back. All right, you got it? You're on it. Camera's yours.
Yeah.
Longberg and Abaki out here, along with Knutson. Knutson lost sight of it. And she'll throw it back over to Frank again. Over to Longberg. Longberg gets it knocked off her stick. And she'll throw back to Frank. Frank coming through a skate. Gets around one Yellow Jacket. Shot. Saved by the Yellow Jacket goalie. Behind the net's Frank again. That one goes off the side of the net. And this one comes to Baki. Baki in on net. Shot at a goal. What a great shot by Baki. So Baki tickles the twine first. They have been announcing the goals here, so let's hope they let us know there's any assists on that one.
Yeah, Baki did a nice job getting the puck back or down low at the circle, and just a good sniper shot as she gets that up into just underneath the crossbar, but over the goalie's shoulder.
Great shot. Wasn't much real estate there to put it to net. And Byron puts it in the mitt for her first save. Shot should be 1-1 here. Oh, they got a 3-1. Face-off coming to the left of Byron. That one's won by Bemidji, goes over to O'Brien.
Scoring for Bemidji, number 18, Burton, assisted by number 8, Esso O'Brien.
I heard Baki unassisted there. Face-off now to the right of Byron. That one's won by the Yellow Jackets. Come back to the point. They're going to throw it back in deep. And Carlson trying to get a handle on it. Fuller throws it by the defense. He's got Larson out with her. Tries to get it over to her. Larson picks it up. Top of the circle. Drop pass to Fuller. Oh, over to Carlson there. Trying to get a shot is Larson. What a nice play by those three. The house is pretty generous on the shots here.
The Raiders. That's what I was looking at. The Hastings Raiders.
I Googled it and fancy AI told me Yellow Jackets.
Oh, really? No, I was thinking it was Pirates or something, and then yeah, the Raiders.
All right. Well, I better get the scoreboard up here. Carlson tries to throw across ice. That's picked off by the Hastings. Let's go with that. We know that's right.
Yeah.
Byron plays it. And Hastings gets their third shot on here. Let's get the scoreboard up here. So... I can tell you this, TJ, they're definitely in yellow.
They are yellow, yeah. Tegan
almost gold.
Tegan drew she drew a penalty there, so Lumberjacks will go on the power play here.
So the Jacks are going to go on the power play. Looks like number 11. They say what for?
Trip.
So number 11 for a trip. I was getting the scoreboard up here. There you go. Jacks are up 1-0. So 2 minutes up on the clock for the power play. Coach throws out your top line. Carlson, Larson, Fuller here. Frank and Baki on the power play here. Hastings launches it into the netting, and we're going to get a redo. So face off now to the left of the Hastings goalie. Puck's down, won by Hastings. Fuller tries to get in there. It's going to come back to, once again, that's Winkler, not Baki. And that one's going to come out to Frank. Scores! So power play goal for Frank on the power play.
Yeah, that one was kind of similar to Baki, just a lot further away, right? She takes the pass just in front of the blue line on that far side. She walked in a couple of steps, and then just another sniper shot, just a rocket wrister that's able to beat the goaltender up high. So a couple of opportunities here for the Lumberjacks in which they go high, and they succeed. So yeah, early 2-0 lead though.
Note to self, keep throwing it up high.
Yep.
This one's back to O'Brien. She's got a little real estate. That one. Kept in by O'Brien. She throws it towards the net. From behind the net was Pemberton trying to get a piece of it. Coming back out to Runningen. She tries to keep it in the zone there.
Number 15, Michael Grace, assisted by number 16, Matthew Wade.
Around to Grand. She tips it out to center. Novak was trying to get a handle on it. He chases into the offensive zone. That one played by O'Brien. And that's offsides on Hastings. They're going to try and check up. And ref finally blows the whistle. How was Tegan when she had the flu?
Yeah.
Again?
There was, kind of went through the house. So her older sister got sick, and then a couple days later, then Tegan did.
Boy.
So she was out for about a week.
Oh, man. Longberg picking up in center, hits the Baki. Baki trying to go skate the stick. Longberg shoots. Oh, and the goalie just got it underneath the pass.
Boy, that's such a tough play, for Longberg. Drops behind her, but the goalie was tracking it real well. Longberg got that shot off quickly. She went for a good spot. She went 5-hole, but the goaltender was able to get down and cover.
Baki throws it towards the net, shooting. That's Knudsen. And that one sneaks back past. Played that one by Winkler. Baki's going to pick it up. Lundberg trying to play it. They bring it out to center. Melcher bats it forward, gets tumbled for her hard effort. Longberg trying to get a handle on it. That's going to come back to Winkler. And Winkler throws it up ice. And that's going to be icing on your Jacks. Let's get the scoreboard right here for everybody. 2-0 is your score. Goals by
their defensive zone, and so at Hastings,
not a lot of opportunities.
No, really struggling just to try to hold anything in the zone. They've only got a shot or two off. I see 3 up there, but
the house is being pretty generous.
There is one right there.
Yeah, Byron with a good save. Byron's been stellar with those flippers this year. This one coming around to Larson. Tries the backhand over to Frank. That didn't work. Runningen now with a piece of it. She throws it over to Fuller. Fuller tries it. Carlson in stride. Trying to get a piece of it. That didn't work. And now back to Runningen. Which now goes back to Frank. She bats it off the wall. Chips it forward. Played now by Fuller. Plays it over to Larson. Larson just missed the outstretched Fuller.
What a good play, though. Saw Lexi just in the neutral zone, gets a nice pass out to the right, and then gets it back.
Hastings whacks it back out to center. Carlson back to Runningen over to Larson. Larson off on a change. Fuller into the corner. And Hastings wraps it around the near wall. Back to Runningen. Still thrown in deep. Fuller's off. Grand's back on. Hastings throws it up ice. Stolen away by Pemberton, but then back to Hastings. Now Frank back at her own end. She's going to fly around the net. Puts it over to Grand, but Hastings is going to bring it back out to center. And then they're going to dump it in. Make the girls go 200. Frank, back to Runningen. Over to Novak. Novak throws it between her net. Played by Grand, but they steal. That one went off Pemberton. Grand backhands it back. Gets the point. Shot tip goes wide of Byron. Now Pemberton tries to hit Grant, kept in by Hastings. So this is their best pressure of the day so far there, TJ.
Not necessarily translating into shots though, Doug, and so they're trying to get it on net, but it's still just plugging up the middle and not allowing a good shot on goal.
Here comes Pemberton through center to their near wall, tries to center the pass, stolen away by Hastings. Played well by, Knutson's having a great start to her year. We're mid-year already, right?
Yeah.
But she's really been banging and playing hard. This one's off the wall for O'Brien. Taken away by Baki. Tries to get around the team. Just half a step back. That one gets by O'Brien. Picked up by Melcher. That gets over to O'Brien again. Up to Baki. Baki tries to hit Knutson just out of her reach. Knutson over to Baki. Longberg throws it wide. And that one's just going to pop out to center for O'Brien.
That was a great play by Knutson, just a no-look pass behind her to get Longberg coming down low. They just couldn't quite connect on it.
Baki makes a quick move, a little bit of a toe drag. Now she whacks it to the corner. Larson's going to throw it in deep. And that one gets by O'Brien. Baki looked for somebody to pass him. She was going 1-on-2 or 3 there. Here comes Hastings. Frank, save Byron. Now the second one goes wide. Might have just hit the side of the net even. Yeah, we're going to go on another power play. This is Carlson with some energy. She tries to center it, and that's going to trigger the whistle.
Yeah, that last offensive rush for Hastings, the only reason they gained the zone is Longberg was going to go off for a change and then just accidentally skated into their defenseman. So that tied up the defense. That allowed an opening for Hastings to get in, but like they have here all afternoon, the Lumberjacks just able to prevent, not getting a shot on goal there and then drawing the penalty as well.
Second straight penalty for number 11. Both dripping. This is Frank in the slot. And Winkler will throw it over to Larson on the near wall. Larson whipped on the pass. And that's going to come all the way back. Played by Byron. She's going to throw it up the wall to Carlson. Carlson trying to go the long way around. Gains the offensive zone. Toller rip shot. Oh, just missed wide left. Winkler's going to keep it in. Now goes back to the D, and Hastings going to be picked up by Winkler. The forwards are changing, except for Larson. Frank hits Larson, just tipped off her stick, and we're going to have to start again. So Frank and Winkler on defense. Knutson, Larson, Grand on offense. Winkler's going to pick it up. Still wrapping around to Knutson. Grand's got it in center. Gains the blue line. Throws it in deep. This will be Frank along the far wall. Tries the shot. Oh, Pemberton almost hit. I think her eyes are pretty large on that one. It was coming right at her. Somebody dropped their twig. Frank picks it up, shot. Blocker saved by the goalie. Right out front, quick try for a pass. Winkler shoots. That one's FedEx right over the top of the net. And Frank will keep it in on the blue line. 4 seconds left on the penalty to Hastings. That one gets by Winkler. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Not a lot of great opportunities on the power play there. One early on. Here comes Hastings, good at the blue line. Goes through the feet of Winkler. And stolen away by Baki. Baki 1-on-2, powering through. Baki makes a quick move. Spinorama looking for somebody to pass to. Oh! Thought she had Longberg coming up the slot. Longberg does the old spinorama. Trying to center. She's battling through 2 players. Here comes Hastings trying to get around O'Brien. Novak throws to try and kick it. Dyson's waved off. Hastings will wrap it around the far wall. Back to Runnigan. Throws it towards the net. And this one will come back out to center where O'Brien will grab it. Baki 1-on-2 again here. Stolen away by Novak. Great opportunity there for Novak.
Yeah, just kind of jumped on that shot. Going back to that last power play, Doug, you're right. It took a bit for them to develop, but the last 20-25 seconds, they did a good job of holding that offensive zone, trying to throw some pucks down in on net. But it took them a while to get there.
A little fuzzy on the bench cam. Larson with the backhand. Oh, just good effort. O'Brien back to center to grab it. Over to Runnigan. Up to Larson. Hastings will pick it up in the neutral zone. They throw it into the offensive zone. That one's going to go to the right of O'Brien, or Byron. O'Brien now has the puck. You know, we got O'Briens, we got Byrons, we got Bergs, we got Wongbergs, we got Berg. Hastings trying to throw it a little bit deeper from the dot. Didn't get much on that one. And now thrown out, picked up at the blue line. Shot, save, Byron.
She had a good look at that, able to slide to her right and make that save.
Nice hard shot. Carlson's trying to get her stick on it. Looks like Fuller got a piece of that.
She
Don't go
did,
off on a
yeah.
change. I think I even heard the tip. Here comes Hastings into the offensive zone on the backhand. Backhand shot. Byron put the mitt down. Didn't get it on the first swipe, but she got it on the second. House has got the shots 9-8. 1:31 left here in the first. Face off won by the Jacks. Melcher throws up towards the blue line. Frank going in there battling for it. She's going to drop it back to Melcher, who wraps around the same way and try to get it over to Grand. Grand gets it out into the neutral zone. Knudsen looking for somebody to hit. And Frank gathers it up. Goes far left on the forehand shot. That's blocked by a Hastings player. Grand, she bats it in deep. And here comes Hastings, chased by Pemberton and Knudsen. 40 seconds left here in the first. Out to the point. Shot blocked by Grand. And that one comes out of the zone. Now the arm's down. Hastings going to pick it up the blue line. And back out to center it comes. 16 to go here. Now 8. Novak looking to try and get somewhere with it. Picked up by Carlson. 3 to go. Carlson just couldn't get the handle on it. Shot. And blocked by Hastings. So after the first 15 minutes here, your Jacks are up 2-0.
Yeah, they kind of even up shots on goal, and Hastings kind of got better as the game went on, Doug. And so I think that Bemidji just jumped out of the gate, you know, a little bit faster than Hastings did, especially that early goal. You got
by Baki, that was a beauty.
Yeah, quick shot down by the low circle and gets it up high and in the net. So Bemidji kind of came out firing, able to score twice there early on in that period. And Hastings, you know, they did get better, held the offensive zone, but boy, I like the way that Bemidji and their defense just clogs up those passing lanes and those shooting lanes. It just makes it real difficult to get any real estate out of it.
Yeah, for sure. We're getting the first intermission resurfacing here, so I don't think they're going to do both. So first intermission resurfacing here. So we got a couple of minute break here for you. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back at you in a few minutes here. All right, hockey fan, the Jacks are waiting over there in the far corner. You can probably just barely see them. They look like they're ready to go up 2-0. I'm sure the locker room was quite energetic.
Yeah, you know, like I said, the Lumberjacks jumped out to a pretty good start to that. Hastings got a little bit stronger as that game kind of wore on. You saw them start to control into that offensive zone a little bit more. And Bemidji, their only kind of time in the offensive zone besides that power play was just as they have a quick rush coming in. You know, didn't really hold the zone like Hastings did. But on the flip side, as Hastings is in the offensive zone, Bemidji on their back check and on defense just doing a good job just clogging up those passing lanes, those shooting lanes. So they're not getting good looks at the net. And when they do, then you have Byron coming up, you know, having a good look at him and making good saves for you.
Exactly. All right, the refs are out running around with a squeegee, tightening up the little bit of water that's left.
It looks dry.
It does.
Maybe down by the goal.
Can't stand it when they start with wet ice.
Oh, it's so tough, too, because you can't predict what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And the puck, then as it comes on that water, it'll just stick. And so
like quicksand.
Yeah.
Concrete.
It's tough for a goaltender. You know, it's tough if you're on offense trying to do something. Yeah, I wish they would just take some extra time and just kind of let it sit there. I don't think that's a problem here, though. I mean, the ice looks pretty dry.
Yeah, I think it's looking good. So we had a couple of varsity players come down in Bakke and Wongberg for the first period. This period, we've got, looks like George and Lossing joining us.
Yeah, and the way that goes is you are eligible to play up to 4 periods between the 2 games, so in one day. So oftentimes they'll take those varsity players that are full-time. They'll play their 3 periods on varsity, and then they'll play 1 on JV, and so they'll rotate those around. So
Minnesota State High School League, right?
Yep.
They're in charge. So because we've had a couple girls out being banged up and a couple sick here and there, the coaches decided to let a few varsity players come down.
And then they'll do it the same way on the other side. So during the varsity game, they'll have a couple of JV players, you know, kind of in reserve as well. There'll be plans, you know, that they'll have use of them for at least a period if they need.
Nice
to get down and, you know, work their way through the bench. But, yeah, you get to this point in the season, and not only illnesses, but some injuries as well. Lumberjacks are down a couple of skaters from even where we were, you know, in the last 2 weeks. You know, one with a bum ankle and then a bum wrist. And, so it's just a physical brand of hockey that gets played. And unfortunately, those are the things that kind of take you out. Injuries and illnesses and you know, even holiday travel plans.
I was just going to say. So it looks like Carlson, Larson, Fuller. And, oh, by the way, DJ, happy birthday to Rylan Larson, number 7 out there, turning the big 1-5
nice
today. Happy birthday to Rylan.
Well, I saw her earlier. She didn't mention anything.
I don't think she's any taller.
No, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. So good for Rye, 15 today. So Carlson on the draw. Your camera's hot again. Yeah. This one controlled by the Jacks. Larson gives it back to Winkler. They play it up, try and get it inside the zone. That one's going to come back into the Jack zone here, where Frank's going to slingshot around her own net. He tries to get it up to Larson. Fuller with a nice catch from behind. Tips it up the wall, tries to get it to herself. Jacks are going to have to chase it. Nice speed on that one, so she didn't ice the puck. Frank and Fuller battling away. Here's it over to Larson. Oh, picked off the last minute. Fuller's got it, and it goes right on the 5-hole, but got stopped. Nice try.
Yeah, what I like there, Doug, is Lexi, after she gives that pass, one, it was a good job to ID that pass there, but once it got deflected away, you know, she kept crashing at the net. She didn't stop, and so that puts her in a position to kind of pick up that second effort and then get a shot on net.
You know, and that all started with that pass she caught at the top of the circle there. So good effort. So Hastings round the far wall. That one's going to come back to O'Brien. She's just able to keep it in, but then Hastings picks it up. And they're going to come into the zone with some speed. Trying to get around run again. Now it goes to the back wall. And George tries to tip it somewhere. That one went out front. Shot in the goal. So turnover by the Jacks. Gets Hastings on the board. Not much Byron can do with that one.
Yeah, that one I think deflected off a leg. So it just changed directions quickly as it was kind of coming out, and then all of a sudden I think it caromed off a leg and then screamed over towards that far side. And it just so happens that the Raiders, had a skater there in the area, and so puck goes on her stick and got that quick shot on net.
Yeah, that was an easy one. Landed right on her stick. Not much Byron could do about that one.
Sometimes you get, the bounces going your way, and that's what happened on that one.
So quick offsides on Hastings.
First period, Lumberjacks jumped up with a quick goal, went up 2-0, and now here coming out in the second, Hastings does. And so the thing that you want to be careful with is just that momentum. And so Bemidji played real well and was kind of in control of this game through that first half of that first period, so about that first 7-8 minutes. And then Hastings started to take over. And so now it's kind of a dangerous thing for them to come out here early on in the second to come away with a goal.
Let's see how they respond. That one goes off Byron and kicked in. Ref had it right away. Look at him. I love the dynamic ref. She's busted, kicking it in.
Yeah, that was
about as obvious. He was on the right side. I don't know if we would have saw it if he was on the other side.
Yeah, he was all over it. She definitely kicked it in.
And with that, the faceoff's going to come outside.
You can have it deflect off your skate and off your leg, but you can't use a kicking motion. You can't intentionally force that into the net.
So Melcher throws it behind the net to Frank. Frank trying to go skate to stick here. She's going to try the other route. Nicely played by Byron. And back to Frank, who's got some real estate. She's going to go wide. Just gets it tipped off her stick. Shot, that one played by Byron. So we're going to get a face-off to the left of Byron. So Hastings coming out definitely with the higher level of energy here to start the second. Carlson, Larson, Fuller again here. O'Brien and Winkler. Fuller gets up. She gets into the offensive zone. Larson from behind the net tries the center. Goes right to Hastings. Now back around. Chased by the birthday girl. This one's going to come back into the Jacks zone here. Carlson throws it up ice. And cross ice they come, trying to get around O'Brien. This one will get played by Winkler. Winkler up to Carlson. She tries to wrap it off the boards. O'Brien tries to sling it out to Carlson, and that one will be icing.
Yeah.
And that's going to come all the way back to the left of Byron.
Got the deflection on the puck at center ice, but just on the wrong side of the red line. So that'll bring that icing call back for a face-off in their own zone.
Okay, everybody, bench cam's a little frozen. So are the net cams. We're lucky we got our main camera here. So Hastings looking to win the draw. That one comes back. O'Brien's going to pick it up. Round over to Winkler. She goes down in a heap. Nice play by George. George getting ahead of steam, looking for somewhere to go. George now on the backhand. Leaves it for Lossing. Lossing into the far corner. Banged up by Knutson, and that one's going to go off O'Brien's. Sticking out. She hustles back, throws it up ice. And again played by O'Brien. Now that gets tipped off her stick. Chipped us up ice by Lossing. Knutson with a nice skate. Dumps it over to George. Oh, that was really close.
Her foot did get across. As she tried to square up and get lateral to that line, she got a little bit too deep in the zone. Her right foot did get into that offensive zone, stopped touching that blue line. Tried to get it back, but the puck came across right at the
Good call by the ref.
Yeah.
Grand, Pemberton, Novak. That one's won by the Jacks. Grand throws it back to the D. But Runnigan's got to go all the way back. Novak throws up to Pemberton. 2-on-2 with Grand. Called good at the line here. That one just gets by Melcher and should be icing by barely. 10:51 to go here in the second. I could change that. TJ, I'm really bad about changing the periods on the... I always forget. There we go. We're good. Thanks again for fixing the mics for us.
Yeah.
Got our fancy mics all fixed up here. Grand gets it towards the net. Nice shot by Grand. And again, straight out front, Grand tries again. Melcher, she was hot last week, tipped. Oh, got it on net. Threaded the needle there.
Yeah, not a lot of space.
And this one's going to come back for Runnigan to play. Big whiff by Hastings as they come off the bench. Hastings with a nice job not getting too many players out there. Pemberton makes a nice move. And another nice move. Looking to make another one. Nice move. Oh, and a shot right in the old breadbasket.
Got by 3 to work her way up into that offensive zone and finally gets between the circles and down into the crease. Shot on, though. It came right in the belly of the goaltender, but a nice job just to get it from center ice, walk back in past 3 players.
Yeah, nice drive. Carlson, Larson, Fuller, Winkler, and Frank. This one over to Larson. She drops it back to Winkler. That goes off Winkler, or off a Hastings player. Nice job by Frank to steal that one. Spinorama. Up ice to Carlson. Tried to tip it over to Carlson. The only thing we're missing from last year was Olsen. Carlson, Olsen, Larson. Larson driving far corner and dumps it to Fuller. Tries to make the move. Shot. I think that one hit the post. Fuller's got it on her backhand now. Spinorama going the other way. Let's get it back to Frank, and then it just pops over the blue line. Nice use of her body by Frank. Frank over to Larson. Larson shoots. Oh, just goes wide. Good pressure here by the Jacks. And that one's going to be taken up, picked up by Hastings. They throw it up ice. 1-on-3 now for Hastings going wide. Shot. Saved by Byron. Oh! On the goal line. Ref had the view of it. Waved off. Right in the slot. Shot. Flipper saved Byron. Right out front, Larson. She's going to ice the puck and say, give me a whistle.
Yeah, who's 16?
That is Winkler.
Winkler saved that goal.
So that was on the line.
Yeah, it got by Byron. And then Mackey was just right there, Johnny on the spot, and able to seize the puck, got to it before it crossed the line, and popped it back out. So they're assisting her goaltender, but Winkler with a nice play.
Yeah, so that puck has to cross that red line fully, and I think it was touching that red line. That one comes up ice. Knutson driving's got Lossing, if she can see her. Nope, didn't get there in time. Lossing now with it. She's going to try and throw it back to O'Brien, who throws it back into the corner. George was in front of the net getting a little Erickson Eck treatment. And this one's going to come back out, picked up by Runnigan. Two-one still your score here. 8:03 to go in the second. Runnigan's going to play it. So she makes a move. Runnigan going wide on her backhand. To the dot. Spinorama tries to center. Nothing but yellow there. Kept in by Runnigan.
Yeah, but
and now it comes out. O'Brien trying to get there first. Watching for that center pass. Nice play by O'Brien. Strong on her stick there. Got it and moved it up ice. Runnigan to feed George. George going line, trying to split the D. George gets the shot off, and a goal! What a nice play by George to get through both defenders, get it on ice, and with that, Hastings going to switch them up halfway through the second.
Yeah, that should be Runnigan then with the assist. Gets that up to George coming across that center ice. She was just able to lean into it as she moves to her right, gets that on her forehand, and then she comes back to the left, gets it on her backhand and scores.
Great job by George. By George, I think she got it. Couldn't resist. Frank coming through center. Over to Novak. Novak somehow causes 2 yellows to go down. Also, Novak about ready to get a hooking penalty. And here comes Hastings. Nice job by Frank again. Boy, she plays good defense.
She does, yep. And she's not afraid to take it offensively as well. So she's a good puck handler, and so she's real good on back checking too. And so just really what you need on defense is that somebody that can run your offense as well as carry your defense. And so Kyler Frank does a good job with that. And she's not afraid even in her own blue line. She can go on a rush and skate through a couple of players. We've seen that even this afternoon.
She's also really good at playing the body well, or playing, using her body to her advantage to either get girls off the puck or to protect the puck. Here she goes down in a heap. Hastings trying to get it towards center. Spinorama attempt. Not there on the backhand. Trying. Good job by the Jacks to keep her from getting shots off. Byron got one. Now Frank's going to pick it up. She's got Grand. There's Grand. Tries to get it out of the zone and does come out to center. And Hastings is going to throw it into the offensive zone. Carlson's off to go get it. Carlson with a head of steam gets poked off her stick. Now Winkler with it. She's going to throw it up to Grand. And the arm's up for icing, and we do get a whistle. So that one's going to come all the way back to the left of Byron.
Yeah, this is a holiday tournament that Bemidji's played in for a number of years. And I know Terriana was down here, so Tegan's older sister, when she was playing on the varsity.
And they won it a couple times, haven't they?
Yep, they did win it a couple times too.
Normally, if a team starts hogging up too many championships, they're going to quit inviting them. And Byron puts the mitt down on a soft shot to give me a whistle.
Yeah, I don't think Bemidji's come in with quite as strong as a team as they have this year, like with the varsity coming in. So you have to think that Bemidji's got the advantage, number 6 team in state, so the top-ranked team that's here at this tournament.
So 9-1 are the Jacks varsity team. Having a great year. That one's played by Fuller. Makes a quick move. Tries to throw it up to the birthday girl. Oh, she dropped to a knee. Otherwise, she would have been close to getting that one. And Hastings coming cross ice. They throw it in deep. Melcher and O'Brien back to go get it. Over to Larson. Tries to get out to Carlson right out front. Shot, save Byron. Oh, another bouncer was trying to find its way into the net. Nice job by O'Brien rubbing a girl out. This one's got Larson. Larson tries to hit Fuller. That didn't work. Melcher trying to get it up ice. Fuller looking for it. Now Melcher gets it into the offensive zone. Carlson off for a change. Larson off for a change, and icing on Hastings. I think good response by the Jacks after that goal by Hastings.
It was. Bemidji came out a little flat to start this period, but after that goal by Hastings, Bemidji turned it back up, just kind of how we talked about with that momentum. You don't want to let Hastings get it, and Bemidji did a good job of kind of closing that down and even stealing it back themselves.
That one's going to come in on Byron, and she's going to say, give me a whistle. Shots on goal here right now, 17 for Hastings, 16 for Bemidji. I got it 13-10. course, I could be wrong. This one's played by Runnigan. She tries to get up to Lossing, who gets knocked down.
Yeah, it was a good hockey play, though. I mean, she was playing the puck. Just happened to get a shoulder in that Lumberjack.
So Winkler into the corner. She's going to chip it up here. Tried to get it up to Knutson. Hastings with it. Shallow shot. Another save by Byron. Jack's going to change him up here with a frozen goalie cam. So both teams putting some fresh legs out there. Pemberton, Novak, and Grand. Hastings goes cross ice. They're going to throw it in offsides. They got to check up and do. Here comes Frank. Another quick move. Frank hits the afterburner, turns. Oh, just gets it knocked off her stick, and here they come the other way. And that one's going to come all the way back to Melcher with Frank chasing it. She tries to get up to Grand. That pass didn't quite hit her, but now Frank's got it again.
Well,
and back through center.
6 is getting a little chippier now.
All right, that's Grandy. She's low with a slash.
No, I mean for Hastings.
Hastings is getting it.
Yeah, Hastings is going to go off.
I was going to say, it's not like Grand to get a penalty.
No, 6 was getting chippy, and so she came in. First she had a bit of a push, and then on the second player came through. The puck was still near, and then she got another hand on her and slashed at it. I think she got called with an interference call.
You know, I've got all the old records for the last 6 years of watching Grand, and pound for pound, I'd give her the fewest penalties.
Yeah.
For Fuller tries to pick it up, gets a shot off. Good save by the goalie. Back to O'Brien. Good job keeping it on her stick there.
And I was watching the official here on the near side. He didn't put his hand up, and so I didn't think they were going to call her, and that's when I was just starting to talk about she's getting chippy with it, and it was the official on the far side had it.
Fuller dug it out of the back wall. Throwed it towards the net. Nice tip by Carlson. Fuller now's got it again. She'll bounce it off the wall to O'Brien. She rips it over to Runnigan. Runnigan throws it cross ice to Fuller. Oh, and a blast! Nice play. Fuller got the wood on that one. Throws it out to O'Brien, and Runnigan's just going to be unable to keep it in. 1:16 left on the penalty.
You know, even if you don't get a goal off of that, it's just a beautiful play as it is. You know, if you're able to set that up and execute, you know, you're going to start to pay that off.
This one's going to be kept in by Runnigan. She's going to throw it in deep again. This one's going to come back to O'Brien. Nice job trapping it with her stick. And a little clearinghouse there in the front. So a nice job by the power play line there. Looks like coach is going to leave him out there. Solid minute of power play time. Carlson on the draw. This one's going to come back to O'Brien. Back over to Runnigan. Runnigan throws it on net. Carlson tries to get it loose. I love the physical play out in front of the net. Ooh, a little trash talking coming from 21 yellow.
Well, 21 hit her from behind, and then another Hastings player, you know, as she came towards her, then she elbowed her and pushed her back the other way. And so she was a little frustrated and retaliated.
Heck yeah, that's just a little hockey out front of the net there. Carlson on the draw again. Coach still staying with this line. Fuller back to O'Brien. Shot. Low. On net again. If I'm the coach, I'm not changing this line right now.
Yeah.
They got plenty of stand. Back over to O'Brien. Shot. Fly ball. That one didn't make the twine.
One minute left in the period, if you didn't hear that.
And this is going to be O'Brien. She's going to try and throw it in deep. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. Carlson's going to throw it in. Go off for a change. And nope, it's not going to be icing. Run again. Saved by Byron. Out front. 22 to go here. Picked up by Runnigan, who was over to hit Larson. 15 to go. Larson's going to come the other way. Onto the backhand shot. Ooh, saved by the goalie. 8 to go. Out front, just by George. Melcher throws it towards the near corner. And that's going to do it. Nice pressure by the Jacks to end the first here. Or the second.
I'd say that whole second half of the period, Doug, really after Hastings got on the board early on in the second period here, then Bemidji started to really lock it down. And then even when you saw them on that power play, they spent nearly the entire 2 minutes in the offensive zone, got another face-off wins, and then just, controlling play. And so that's a Bemidji team that is holding its own on the ice and fighting back. And I'd say probably got further out with their shots on net, and rightfully so. They extended the score out in this period as well. They tied them with one apiece, but that puts them at 3-1 here up in the second.
Yeah, really looking good there on that power play. I don't blame them. Normally a coach halfway through will switch it up. They're having such good luck. Why not leave them in there?
Yeah, and I think you had a good point, though. There's a number of stoppages there, a number of whistles, with all the face-offs. And so, yeah, it's not sustained play. And so, and also when they're just holding it.
Yeah.
And they were just outplaying Hastings at that point on the ice. And so they're just able to stay on there that whole shift.
If you got the mojo rolling, why change the mojo? So just a quick intermission here, 10 seconds left on the break. So we had the resurface after the first period. So we're going to get right into the third here. 21-18 is your shots on goal. Now in favor of Bemidji after the last few minutes.
And I think this third period would be pretty interesting. So Hastings came out pretty flat, and Bemidji took advantage of that early on in that first period. Got 2 quick goals to kind of start this game off. But as that first period wore down, Hastings got stronger. So the Raiders were able to carry the offensive zone much more. And then when they came out in that second period, they got that quick goal. And at that point, it was like, oh boy, I wonder if this is going to turn. But to Bemidji's credit, they were able to flip the script just a bit, and they started taking it back to Hastings and holding their own on offense. And so this will be a good third period. Both these teams now are well worn in after 2 periods down, but Lumberjacks have a 2-goal lead. And oftentimes you're on a long road trip, right? Hastings, they're on the south side of the city. It's probably an hour drive for them to get here on the bus.
Hour and a half today with the roads. Yeah, the Boers Road as well. South of town.
Yeah, but the Lumberjacks, they got on the bus at 7:30 this morning.
Hastings throws it into the offensive zone. Picked up by Lossing. Or actually, this is her second period of play. So Lossing hits Fuller. Fuller tries to make a move, still has it. Tried to get it towards the net. That went wide right. Lossing's going to pick it up. Now she gives over to Larson. Larson back over to Fuller. Now to Larson, who tried the no-look pass. That didn't work very good. And Winkler throws it up ice. Fuller tried to get over to Carlson. Hit her in the skates. Fuller trying to battle into the corner. Carlson doesn't see it. Hastings is going to pick it up along the far wall. Carlson loses. Lossing playing defense now. And Larson's going to throw it into the offensive zone. We got a Coe on the ice, along with a Griner. Griner out front. Tried the one-timer, was Knutson. We got to take a quick... So we got Griner, Coe, and Lossing down for the third period here. Griner, who's been playing with a upper body injury that's been nagging her.
Yeah, she got injured early on in the season, and she was out for a few weeks. I think 4 weeks she was out.
Griner coming off the back wall, looking to shoot. Oh,
That's
and a
good.
goal. It did go in. So way to go for Griner here in the third, getting that umbrella policy in there.
Yeah, so now 3 of the 4 goals for the Lumberjacks have been in the upper deck there. Griner did a good job. Goaltender thought that Griner was going to come down low with it, so goaltender dropped down to her pads, and Griner, who was at a tough angle, but with the goaltender going down, there was room above that shoulder and below the crossbar, and that's exactly where Emma put it.
That's the Kaprizov shallow angle shot right there. This one's going to get picked up by Knutson. She's going to throw it up ice, the arms up. And that's going to be no icing on the Jacks. So 4-1 now. This one played out front. Melcher got a handle on it. Looking for Coe. That gets picked off with a 3-on-2 here now. Shot wide of Byron. Griner tries to get over to Grand. Grand gives it a whack to get out of the zone. They go off on a change. So the scorebook got it right. Griner from Coe for the 4th goal. And another quick save by Byron.
That's the other bigger difference in this game here, Dog, is just Bemidji being able to convert down low on some of those shots. When Hastings has gotten shots on goal, Libby Byron has come up big in between the pipes for the goaltenders. And so really just kind of defensively, because the Raiders have had their opportunities.
Arms up on this one, now waved off. You know what? I think the Jacks have done maybe. And Lawson, top of the circle, shot, blocker, save. Better job at keeping the net clear out front, so Byron's got a good visual.
Yep.
And all the shots coming in, a little bit more of a cleaner look for her, which makes life a whole lot easier for a goalie.
Yeah, and not giving up rebounds either. Those second and third chances, you haven't seen that here tonight. So when Byron, on the off chance just deflects it, gives up that rebound, you have a defenseman that's coming in quickly and gobbles it up and gets it out of the way.
Good decision by Runnigan to stay tight. Fuller now picks it up, tries to get it over to the birthday girl. Larson on her backhand. To Runnigan, shot, and saved by the Hastings goalie. So we'll get a face-off to the right of the goalie here. 11:39 to go here in the third. Face-off won by the Jacks. Lossing's going to dump it in deep. That one went off a stanchion. Larson out front. And Hastings throws it out through center here.
It's going to probably get waved off.
Lossing's going to slingshot around her own net. Wrap it around to Larson. Larson hits Carlson. Carlson's loose. Fuller for the rebound. Larson puts it up high over the glove.
Yeah, goaltender went down low again, so it opens up that top part of the net. And again, it's a wrister up and over the shoulder. But what was great there, as Larson makes a nice move up ice, kind of chips it back in front of herself. And then instead of making that extra move, I think the goaltender was expecting that, to come back and on the backhand, but she didn't. She took the quick wrister, kept it on the forehand, and then you get that goaltender to go down, open that up, and it's goal number 5 for Bemidji.
Griner on the draw here. Hastings trying to come through center. This one's going to come back to Melcher. And back to Melcher again, but now Winkler's going to clear it to pick it up. Over to Coe. Coe hits Griner in stride. Good job by the Jacks to stay on side. Griner all right, so they got it right again. The assist goes to the birthday girl on the Carlson goal. Melcher's going to pick it up. Over to Coe. tips it out of the zone, and Hastings comes in, steals it. Back to Winkler. Hastings trying to get it right in the slot. Lost it, tried to center. Right out front. Quick one-timer and saved by Byron. Great save by Byron.
Yeah, that's one where you're relying on your goaltender when that puck switches directions quickly. Comes back out right on the stick of the Raiders, able to get the shot off, and then the rebound attempt as well. But Byron got those leg pads down pretty quickly and able to come up with a couple of back-to-back shots.
Goalie change here. Everhart in the net for the Jacks. And Hastings wraps it around the near wall here. That one played out front. Puck is loose. Thrown away by Runnigan. Then Hastings throws it behind the net. This will be O'Brien. She tries to get it up ice. Kept in again by Hastings. Runnigan tries to get it up to Grand. That didn't work. Puck goes behind the Jacks net. Novak tried to hit Pemberton. 9:18 to go here. Jacks able to keep it in the zone here. Hastings looking for a way to get out. Trying to do the old spinorama up the wall. Kept in by O'Brien. Puck is loose. And there she puts the mid on it. Shots on goal are 28-20. 8:55 to go here in the third. Face off to the right of the Hastings goalie here. O'Brien throws it behind the net. Picked up by Carlson. Carlson trying to get out center. And now O'Brien's going to have to fetch this one up. Hastings waved off. Hastings trying to come out of the 2-on-2 when there was in the corner. Fuller tries to hit the birthday girl in stride who's there. Now to the slot. Shot. And right in the old mitt. Way to go, Larson. Every shot's a good shot in hockey. Isn't that what they say?
That's right. You keep putting pucks on net.
So this is Griner, Knutson, Coe. Good to see Coe back. She had one of those lower body injuries that never seemed to go away. Coe back to Lossing. Lossing does the old spinorama, throws it in the corner for Coe, who hits Griner, who is always willing to grind him out. Here comes Hastings. 1-on-3 shot. Saved by Everhart. Hastings picks it up. Looking for somebody to pass to. Back to the D. Shot out front. Tipped. Did that get on net?
It did. So it went off a leg, I think, and then back towards the goaltender. And she's
Thought
able to
I heard
pop
a pad.
back out.
Hastings throws it in the offensive zone. This is going to be Winkler to fetch it.
Yeah, that's one where Libby doesn't get to see it because of all the bodies in front.
Now we got the goalie switch, so it's Jersey.
Oh, yeah, Jersey Everhart, yep.
Here comes Lossing. Lossing with a shot. That goes wide right. Griner to get it. And back to Lossing. Shot. Saved by the goalie. I mean, he's cranking the shots out now. Here comes Hastings the other way. Played by Winkler. She chips it up ice. 6:50 and counting here in the third. Played by Winkler. Off to Griner, who tried to hit Novak. Winkler throws it towards the net. Fuller tries to throw it up to the wall to herself. Picked up by Runnigan. Tries to hit Novak. Runnigan on the near wall. Now going to go behind her own net. Over to Fuller. Fuller sees Larson streaky. No, just got it behind her. Just a titch. Nice job by Runnigan. Larson. She's loose. Oh, just got it tipped off her stick. Fuller turns, shoots. Saved by the goalie. And no icing here. It's going to be played by Runnigan. Round to Fuller. Goes back to the point. Shot. And a goal.
Might have been a deflection just before it got to Jersey.
Also looked like one of those loopers.
Yeah,
you know,
it comes in from that far point. You know, a little bit of traffic in front, but I just heard a tick, and so I don't know if somebody got a stick on it and just changed the direction just before it got to her glove.
Doesn't take much. So 5:22 to go now, 5-2 here in favor of the Jacks. This one, won by Griner, comes all the way back to Winkler. Good thing we bought all those insurance policies. That one just comes out of the zone. O'Brien to go get it. Griner digging in with some speed. Still has it. Looking to center. Now she's going to go the other way. Another spinorama. She had that shallow angle before. Nice play. She threw it out front to Coe.
What patience, with that. And so didn't hurry that along, just allowed that play to develop. And so stick handles just a bit to create some space. And then instead of throwing it on net, panicking, she started to walk back in. And that created a new angle and able to find a centering pass. Sure, it doesn't result in a goal, but, having some patience there to set up some offense is a good example.
Easily could have. Timeout here, yellow. Coach trying to take some of the energy off goal number 2 and see if they can bottle it up and get 3 and get back within 2. We can avoid that most dangerous 2-goal lead going into the last 3 minutes.
Yeah, Hastings, I'd say that second half of the first period, they played really well. And then coming out in the second period, those first couple of minutes. But besides that, at the very least of which, it's been back and forth. But I'd say much of that second half of the second period, Bemidji carried play in that one. And so Bemidji's carried play for more of this game. And so they certainly can just do the same here. And now, but the key, though, is just plugging up those shots, those shooting lanes, as Hastings going to try and attack the zone and just kind of keep generating and throwing pucks on nets. And so give them bad angles, bad shot opportunities, and certainly if they do get through with those shots on net, Doug, is that you can't just keep giving up rebounds. And so either the goaltender's got to gobble them up or your defense got to be down there, be able to pick those up and clear them back out.
Giving them a nice long timeout here. Must have paid extra. All right, Hastings says they're ready to go. Face-off coming to the left of the Hastings goalie. Coach Maggie over there is still working on her girls. So it looks like Griner it's Novak, Grand, Pemberton, Winkler, O'Brien. Hastings throwing off the far wall. 2-on-1 here against Winkler. Pass cross ice onto the backhand. Saved by Everhart. And
they're calling that a goal.
And it must have snuck through.
Wait, Jersey had that right leg pad down. I thought she had it against the post there as well. I mean, I'm not sure how that puck snuck through.
She was acting like she had it.
Yeah, she looked to be in a good spot, but the official was all over it. Saw it poke him back behind. And
I was wondering why he wasn't blowing the whistle. He must have still seen it. All right.
Off the timeout, Hastings comes back with a quick one.
5-3. Hang on, everybody. It looks like it might be a wild one. Carlson, Larson, Fuller. Larson throws it up ice, taken away by Hastings. Lossing's first one there. She tips it up ice. Fuller trying to get a handle on it. Now Lossing will whack it in deep. Hastings gains the offensive zone here. Larson's going to try and whack it up ice. Lossing tries to steal. Fuller's not going to pick it up. She whiffed on the dump in. 3:40 and counting here.
It's okay. We can waste some time.
Yep. Hastings comes away with it. They throw it up ice. Icing's waved off. This will be Lossing, first one there. Along with Carlson and Larson. Hastings now into the corner. Melcher got a chunk of it. Now Carlson with it. Up to Larson. Over to Fuller. Fuller's going to wrap it in deep. And Icings is going to be the call there.